Reporting.
Would you call the meeting of order, please, if you would call the roll?
There he comes.
Welcome.
Greetings.
Let me call roll.
We did.
Kate Fargo. Dan Delahunt.
Here.
John Fike.
Here.
Blake Harris.
Here.
Greg Peugeot.
Here.
Bill Siemens.
Here.
Okay, you have the minutes from the November 21st meeting in queue. Any questions, comments, changes? If there's none, I need a motion to approve.
Motion to approve the minutes? Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any questions on the motion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, those are approved. Okay, this is an adjudication hearing, which means that if you're going to talk, you need to come to the podium, state your name, address, and then you can speak. But I need you to swear everybody in first. You'll be first, but we're not quite ready for you.
Oh.
So if everybody who's going to speak, raise their right hand. I promise to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God.
I do.
You are sworn in. Okay, the first item on the agenda is for 616 Wayne Street, a variance to zoning code section 1145.17G to allow the construction of a 5-foot tall fence in the side yard, whereas the code states that the fence may not be more than 4 feet tall in the side yard. We have staff's comments. Is there anything additional?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman. The zoning at this site is R2F2 family residential. To the north, south, and west is also R2F2 family residential, and to the east is LB local business. The surrounding uses of this property are residential, and the proposed use is staying residential. The applicant wishes to build a 4-foot privacy fence and access gate with 1 foot of additional lattice on top of the 4-foot fence on the southern side of 616 Wayne Street. The zoning code restricts fences, walls, and yard structures to a height of 4 foot along a side yard of a house. The reason for the 5-foot fence in the side yard is for privacy. The fence will be approximately 10 foot in width, and the side yard is estimated to be 11 foot wide, so most of the side yard. And the variance being requested tonight is to allow a 5-foot fence into a side yard. There's currently a 6-foot tall fence in the side yard. Staff has determined that to be a legally non-conforming fence. The applicant is removing this fence and placing a new 5-foot fence that is closer to the front lot line. The fence will be set back still an estimated 40 feet from that front property line. Due to the large setback from the property line, planning staff supports the requested variance at 616 Wayne Street and suggests the following conditions upon approval tonight, and that's that all necessary permits are obtained through the building department, engineering department, and division of planning prior to construction of the fence. Thank you.
Okay, is anyone in the audience wish to speak in favor of this request?
Yes, may I please? My name is Charlie Murray, and to correct what was spoken, we're actually putting it in the same place, further back from the property line. When we bought the house, it had a 6-foot vinyl fence. It was completely obstructed all the way across. You couldn't see through it, you couldn't see over it, and so we took that out, and we landscaped the place in between the two houses. And then we just like to put, it's really 4 feet with just a little bit of lattice above, and then the gate is actually concave, and this lattice on the concave gate, the gate is actually 4 feet wide, and it'll be about 4 feet at the gate, and then so 3 feet on either side are 5 feet. That's what we're requesting. And we'll paint it white and blend it right in.
Okay.
Great.
Okay?
Is there anyone else who wish to speak in favor?
And furthermore, we did ask for a Lear fence to make it. They'll build it on site, and I think it'll be really attractive.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Is anyone else who wishes to speak in favor of this request? Is there anyone who wishes to speak against this request? Seeing none, we'll come back to the board. Any questions?
Have any questions?
If there's no questions, the motion's in order.
I'd make a motion to approve the variance with the stipulations that Alex mentioned. Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any questions on the motion? Not, please call the roll.
Bill Siemens,
Is that me?
Greg Peugeot,
Yes.
Blake Harris,
Yes.
John Fike,
Yes,
Dan Delahunt.
Yes.
that variance is approved.
Thank you.
Takes about a week or two to get a letter, or actually,
I usually try to get it within the next 24 to 48 hours after the meeting, so it'll be probably due by tomorrow. I'll be in the office tomorrow, so.
Greg, you're welcome to stay, or you're welcome to go. The next item on the agenda is for 627 East Market Street, an area variance to zoning code section 1145.15B to allow the placement of accessory structure within 10 feet of a main structure. 5 feet setback is the proposal. We have staff's comments. Is there anything additional?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman. The current zoning of this site is R2F, two-family residential, and the surrounding zoning of all parcels is also R2F, two-family residential. The surrounding uses of this property are both residential and a museum. The existing use of this site is residential. The proposed use is staying residential. The applicant is in the pre-process of adding a new shed in the rear yard. The proposed structure would be an 18-foot by 20-foot accessory structure. According to the applicant, the shed will be used for storing wood boats and other large items for the museum. The applicant has also stated that this shed is temporary in nature as the Maritime Museum plans on building expansions in the coming years. The zoning code requires that all accessory structures are permitted within, 10 feet or more from a main structure. The variance being requested today is that the accessory structure will be 5 feet from the main structure. The rear yard of this site is approximately 3,290 square feet and has 530 square feet of accessory structures. The proposal will increase this total area to 980 square feet. Based on staff's review, the proposed rear yard coverage of the accessory structure with the new one implemented will be just under 30%, which is the maximum threshold at 29.8%. No further accessory structures can be expanded or placed on this site without a variance unless the structure is 7 square feet or less. Staff asked the applicant if the 4 accessory structures on the site could be combined into one larger structure. The applicant has stated that a specific build type is required because some build types will dry out wood boats, and that is the main intent for this structure. Additionally, funds are not available at this time for that expense, and expanding an existing building is in the future plans for the museum. Once a building is expanded, the applicant plans on removing the accessory structures from the site. The proposed accessory structure would be placed in a spot that is minimally seen from the road or sidewalk. Planning staff supports the temporary variance at 627 East Market Street and suggests the following conditions upon approval: that once the storage building expansion of the Maritime Museum is built, this variance is voided and the accessory structures are removed. And 2, that all applicable permits are obtained to the building department, engineering department, division of planning, and any other applicable agency prior to the placement of this shed. Thank you.
Okay, is there anything else to speak in favor of this request? I don't know if I said it or not. I need your name, your address, so she can record it.
My name is Bob Runner. I live on 520 Nantucket, and I'm here representing the Maritime Museum, which is at 125 Meg Street. Alex did a nice job on encapsulating what we plan to do. One of our concerns is, if you look at the drawing, we own all the property around it, and we've never changed the zoning because we have no definite plans for that property at the moment. The one structure on the corner that Mr. May owns, his sister is here, and he is not opposed to the structure because we talked to him because we know he spent quite a lot of money fixing up that corner, and we wanted to be a good neighbor with him. And that's one of the reasons why we want the building up close to it. It is not a permanent structure, and our intention, as Alex has said, that we intend to take that down once we can expand the other building. Now, the building we're talking to is the one on the far left you see there, which is called the Hammond Boathouse. That's where we have boats displayed in our workshop. We intend to take that building and stretch it further down onto our property and remove one of the buildings that is there that we have our motor shop in. Our original intention was to put it behind the motor shop, but if we did that, we cannot get anything into that area with a truck and a trailer, anything of size. So that was the reason why we did do that. The other thing we didn't want to do is try to put it in the vacant lot. We own the property on that side, the house alongside the museum. The house next to us, between us and the boathouse, is currently non-occupied and hasn't been occupied since 2018. We've tried to buy the property from the owner who would like to sell it to us. We had it appraised, and the appraised value of it at the moment is $30,000. And I have pictures here to show you that the inside of that house is not livable, not sustainable at this point. The floors are gone. He started construction, ripped it apart, and then quit. And it's sat that way ever since. We've offered him $70,000 for the property, and he's turned it down. He wants $100,000 on a property that's valued at, appraised at $30,000. So at the moment, we're on a stymie with him. Our intention for all of our properties is to maintain them. We've maintained 627 in the condition so that it is livable if we decide to do that, the same way with our other properties. So at this point, what we tried to do is bring that up. If we take the structure and put it 10 foot off that fence, or off the house, we can't get to the other structures we've got on the property that were there when we bought the house a few years ago. And the reason I say we can't get to them, there's not enough room to get into them. In the bigger structure, we have boats in there. In the other structure, we have parts for our linemen's, and we also have a couple display pieces that we rotate. Like any museum, our problem is you can't leave it stationary. You have to keep rotating structure or the exhibits that we got. Otherwise, you can't attract new people. And obviously, we would like to be an attraction. So that's one of the reasons why we want the structure to get it there. And when we expand the one that we're talking about, the boathouse down, that'll put everything in one place where we can rotate in and out without having to go outside. We've tried outside storage in other locations, but it has never worked out. So we're trying to consolidate it. And we've spent a lot of time and effort cleaning up our property so we can do that. We don't want them sitting outside and make it look like a junkyard, especially in the area that we're at. We want to be good neighbors to that. So that's our what we're trying to do at the moment.
Thank you.
Okay? Anything else? Any questions for me?
Not at the present.
Molly Sampson here is our executive director. Do you want to add anything, Molly?
I can, yeah.
Okay.
Hi, Molly Sampson, 809 Ogon Street, Sandusky, but representing Maritime Museum of Sandusky at 125 Meg Street. And as Bob said, the ultimate goal is to expand museum's permanent structures, but that takes capital campaign, so this is our stopgap in the meantime. But the ultimate goal is the Howman Boathouse will expand north, eliminating the garages that were there when we originally purchased the property from the houses that were there pre-2000. So it's been sitting there for 25 years. We're looking at updating that. But otherwise, he was spot on everything else. I don't really have too much to add.
Thank you.
Thank you. Does anyone else wish to speak in favor of the request? Does anyone wish to speak against the request? Not seeing anyone, we'll return to the board. Any questions?
Mr. Chairman, I will need to abstain from this vote.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman, in the event that the Maritime Museum should, for some odd reason, sell the property, will the variance be voided from the sale of the property or just in the event that they take it down?
Mr. Chairman, to answer Mr. Delahunt's question, that is something you can put as a condition if you wish.
Cannot?
You can.
Oh, you can?
Yep.
I've tried. That's it. I've tried to do that.
That's a good thought, though. I like that. But
There you go. That's why I'm here.
any other questions? And a motion is in order?
Mr. Chairman, I'll make a motion that we support the temporary variance at 627 Market and have the following conditions that the city's outlined, including the fact that if the property is sold to another party, that the variance expires or is void.
Okay, we have a motion. A second?
Second.
We have a motion, second. Any questions on the motion? Seeing none, call the roll, please.
Blake Harris?
Yes.
Dan Delahunt?
Yes.
Bill Siemens?
Abstain?
Greg Pujol?
Yes.
And John Fike?
Yes, the variance is approved as stipulated.
Thank you.
There any other business that we're aware of?
No other business from staff. We will have a January meeting, so have a Merry Christmas and Happy New Year, and we'll see you in January.
Thanks.
Awesome. Thank you.
Merry Christmas.
Thank you.
Merry Christmas.
Down, gentlemen.
Yes, sir.
And anybody who has not visited the Maritime Museum recently, I suggest you head over there.
Right,
Real good shape and in good
did
hands.
they adjourn?
You want me to pass that down, Bill?
Did we,
Wait,
All right, have a
did
good
we
one.
officially adjourn? Did we adjourn?
Get us a dub.
Say we're adjourned.
Oh, yes, we're adjourned.
Second.
Second?
All in favor, say aye. We're adjourned.
Aye.
Thank you.